Hey there, real quick before we begin, you're about to watch a live stream, which means you're really kind of behind the scenes here because these lessons are usually watched in the archives, but you're here for the live taping of them. So if we mess up really bad, we're probably going to chop that out, but you're going to get to see all of our bloopers and mistakes. We'll also chop this off so no one is going to see this part of the lesson but you. And because you're behind the scenes, you're probably going to ignore my instructions when I say, like, pause the video and go practice or whatever. You can if you want. It's just that everyone in the chat room then will be in different places in the video. That's fine. When you want to join us live again, go down to the bottom of the video, click on the live button, and that should take you straight to where we actually are now. So now here comes the part for everybody else. I'm really glad you're with us. The archives are fine, but my favorite is talking to you live. So see you in the chat room. Welcome back to KidsLearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock here, the lesson is about to begin. If this is your first time playing piano, welcome. I'm very excited for you. You're going to do great. Hopefully you already received from us the welcome packet in the mail, and maybe you even got started on the Absolute Beginners video pack to teach you the names of the notes and things like that. But if not, that's fine. You'll do great. I'll show you how to play all the notes. And if I'm going too fast for you, you can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. You can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. And even if you only learn a little bit of this song and you don't learn the whole thing, you'll still learn enough to help you build skills so you can learn other songs faster in the future. So jump in, give it a try. You're bound to end up at least a little bit better than you even are right now. Throughout the lesson, I may refer to Clopple Academy, and you can check out that link on the website if you want. Basically, it's a program that takes you all the way from learning the names of the notes, the very beginning, through 12 levels of classical and jazz music, through all the skills that you would need to become a professional pianist. So you would learn all the same stuff that you would learn if you're taking regular traditional piano lessons, probably plus a little bit more, but it takes about 5 to 10 years to complete. So you can just try out the first level, see if it's the kind of thing that you like, or if you just care about today's lesson and learning this song, then just ignore all those references and focus on today's lesson. If you're watching this at LearnPianoLive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The MP3 is a play-along track that you can use to practice more after the lesson, but a lot of students like to print out the PDF right now so they have it during the lesson. Careful, it could be up to like 30 pages, so just find the couple pages that you want and print those out. If you decide not to, that's fine. I'll show you all of the notes on screen as we go through it. And we will be going through 5 different levels of this song that all use the same play-along track. So even if you've never played piano before, you'll still be able to do level 1. And then as we go through level 2, 3, 4, and 5, then when we use that same play-along track, you just keep playing your same version. If you're watching this lesson in the archives and you have a question during the lesson, then feel free to click on that survey button. And at the end of the survey, there's a place for you to ask your question, and I will do my best to get back to you with the answer to that question. But if you're with us live as we're recording this today, then feel free to click on that chat button, and you can talk with all the other students who are logged in during the live lesson. And if you have a question about the lesson, then you can just go ahead and type that into the box that says, Ask Jamin a Question, and we will do our best to answer that question live in the lesson. All right, I think that's the end of the boring stuff. I'm ready to learn a song. Stay tuned at the end of the lesson and I'll show you how to win more points and earn more prizes next week. But for right now, let's get this party started.
Welcome back, everybody, to Kids Learn Piano Live. Today we're doing For He's a Jolly Good Fellow, and of course, Clopple's here. Hey, buddy, we'll be moving right along in just a second. First, I want to tell you some good news and bad news about this song. So I guess the good news about this song is that it's really repetitive. Like it takes a little phrase and then moves over and then plays the same phrase, then moves it over and plays the same phrase. So if you learn this first phrase, then you kind of have the whole entire song. The bad news is it's really, really, really fast. So over here we've given it a melodic difficulty. The right hand difficulty is a little less than halfway, about 4.9 out of 10. So anyway, it should be a fine one for you to start on, but if this is your first or second or third song that you've ever done, then probably plan to practice it a little bit more at the end of the lesson, because you probably won't have it down perfectly by the end of this lesson. But let's get started right here. This first note is a G. In order to find a G, you just take any group of 3 black notes, like those ones, or even those ones, any group of 3 black notes. You take the middle note and you drag it slightly that direction, slightly to the left until you land on a white note, and that one's gonna be a G every single time. So you're gonna play a G, and you're going to say out loud with your mouth and using your vocal cords so that you make sound in the actual world, the word for. Do it. Trust me, it'll pay off. Say the words as you go. So you're gonna play a G, and you're gonna say for. Go ahead, try it. All right, cool. So that's a G, that's 4. And then from there, we need to move down, as this line indicates right here. We're gonna go down that direction. So we need to move down until we get to an E. Now, if you haven't counted the alphabet backwards before, that's because you're a normal human being. But we pianists kind of get used to counting backwards in the alphabet. The one before G would be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, so that one's gonna be an F, and then the one before that, A, B, C, D, E, F, it's gonna be an E before the F. So just take that G, skip down 2 notes, you land on an E, and you already have the word he's. So you'd play for he's. Go ahead and try that on your own there, a G and then an E, for he's. All right, cool. By the way, I'll give you a little hint that on the very first word, if you're not playing along with the track, if you're just playing it by yourself, you can hang out on this G kind of extra long. There's actually one more note in the song that's like that, where you kind of get to hang on to it for extra longer than you normally would. For he's a jolly good fellow. Okay, cool. So then more E's to follow after that. So E, E, E. 3 of these in a row. And you're going to say he's a jol. Cool. So for he's a jol. Okay, after that we need a D. It's just 1 note down. So we're gonna go down to this one right here, right next door. For he's a jolly. Just try that much of it. If you can't get that down, keep practicing that. Ignore all the things I'm about to say. If you can already play that, then it's time to move on. We're gonna go up 1 note and then up 1 note for those ones right there. D, E, F is Lee, good, fell. Cool. And then back down to that E is low. And all together, that thing right there is for he's a jolly good fellow. And you almost have the whole entire song done. If you can just take that motion right there and move it over. So let me show you this. We play 1 more E at the end of that for the next 4. But then we've got 3 of the same note right here. Then you move down, up twice, and then down. Where have you seen that before? Well, if you ignore that first note, you've seen it right here. 3 notes, down, up twice, and then down. So it's kind of the same pattern as what you already played at the beginning, except that all the notes are different because we're starting on this one right here. So if you can already play the first one, he's a jolly good fellow, then I would just take your hand, I would blindfold you, move your hand over 1 note, and have you play the exact same thing. And it would feel the exact same, but it would sound different because you're starting on this D right here. So that's he's a jolly good fell. D, 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 C, D, and right about here is where a lot of beginning students are like, whoa, hang on, maybe piano isn't for me because this isn't making sense yet. If the first part made sense, just practice the first part. This other more advanced stuff is for more advanced students, and after you've played 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 or 20 songs, then you'll be ready for these too, or after you practice this one a little bit longer. So if you feel like you're getting lost, just go back to the last place where you weren't lost and practice that. Maybe try to get 1 note past the part you can already do smoothly. That's the goal. So he's a jolly good fell. And then for this one, we got to skip down to a C. So this part right here is a slightly bigger jump than we had at the end of the first line right here. So watch out for that. Slightly larger, but otherwise it's pretty much the same. This next one right here is gonna look like it's the exact same as the first line. He's a jolly good fellow. This one even has the same words. He's a jolly good fellow. But low is always different. This low is the thing that messes us up each time because it's slightly different each time. So this time, instead of going down on low, we're gonna go high on low. Fell low. We're gonna skip over a G, so it's F up to A for that low, and then there's only one line left. So if you've got some or most of the first line, and this is your first or second or third song, you're doing great. You're doing fantastic. We have fa low on the third line, one more A, and then this one right here isn't like anything at all. It's just kind of its own thing, which is kind of a theme in a lot of songs where you'll have like some repeating idea, and then the very last line will be something entirely different. So this something entirely different is tricky because it almost plays all of the notes except it skips over one. And almost all the notes is always the hardest thing to play. Playing all the notes, it's easy. Skipping a bunch of notes, that's easy. Playing almost all the notes, it always messes with us. So we're gonna play this G. It's the same note that we started on right here. G, and then we're gonna go up one note to an A, G, and then F, and then here's the note that we're skipping over. There is no E right here. Do not play E. We're gonna skip over it right there for a D, and then C. So that's the tricky part, is not playing an E, because 99% of the students are gonna go, nobody can deny, like that, and throw in an E. Actually, you can throw in an E if you want. Just try to do it on purpose. First, try this the right way. And then if you want to later on, you could throw in the E if you like the way it sounds better, because that's kind of cool too. It's actually stolen from another song, but the way this song's supposed to go is nobody can deny. So try that. If it's too difficult, just do whatever sounds good and works for you. Everybody though, try playing whatever you can currently. If you need to pause the video, then that's cool, but just get all the notes that you can. Don't worry about the notes that you miss. I'm going to count it off, and then we'll all start and play it together. Here we go. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, ready, go. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's, if you're lost, that's okay. He's a jolly good fellow that nobody can deny. Yeah, okay, cool. So if you got lost in the middle there, that's normal, especially if you got lost, if you got like the first phrase and then the second phrase you got lost on, that's normal, because usually people are gonna, like, their brain is gonna take a break right there and right at the end of each of the lines. So let's try this one more time. Just try to get the first few notes and then ignore the rest unless you can get those ones. Here we go. 1 and a 2. Everybody playing your own version. 1, 2, ready, go. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow that nobody can deny. Yeah. Okay, cool. Hey, Clavel. Yeah, actually, we're already moving on, buddy. I'm ahead of you this time. And today we have a featured video from one of our students playing the song that they're working on. It's not this week's song, because you should never just work on this week's song just because I say. You should always work on the song that you're excited about. Hopefully, you're excited about this week's song, but maybe you'll be excited about this week's song next week. Anyway, practice the thing that's exciting for you. Check this one out.
KidsLearnPianoLive.com.
So if you also deny it, don't feel the feeling.
Way to go. I'm super impressed. If you want to submit your video, you can do that on the website or on the Flipgrid link. But right now, I'm going to tell you about this month's featured composers. They are Poncho Sanchez, who arguably plays jazz, and also Joseph Haydn. So if you are a subscriber, you should have seen those featured composers come through this month, and you can read more about them there. But first, this week, I want to celebrate our October birthdays. Happy birthday, all of the October birthdays. Let's do our feature of the day. Today it is a question of the day, and my question for you that you can either tell me in the chat right now, or if you're watching in the archives, then fill out the survey and let me know what is the thing that you enjoy most about playing piano. What is your favorite thing to do on piano, and perhaps what is your favorite song? But maybe try to make those two separate questions. What's your favorite thing about playing piano, and what is your favorite song to play on piano? And next thing we want to do is honor the people who submitted their art for the art contest and show you who the winner is. Nice job. Now it's time for a little bit of mailbag.
If you'd like to win an extra 750 points by being the mailbag winner, just fill out the survey at the end of the lesson, or send us a message anytime during the week using the contact button at the top of the page.
This week it's from Olami, who says, Dear Jamin, how do I know which hand plays which part of the music? All right, so the answer that I'm supposed to give you as your official piano teacher is that the treble clef is for the right hand. So anything that's written up here is for the RH, the right hand, and anything that's written down here in the bass clef is for the LH, the left hand. That's a lie. But in general, the treble clef is for graphing higher notes. So notes that are on the right side of the piano. So in general, if you are a normal person where your right hand is on your right side and your left hand is on your left side, the right hand of the piano, the right side of the piano will be easily accessed with your right hand, and the left side will be, the lower notes will be easily accessed with your left hand. Of course, if your hands are switched, then you can disregard all of that. But for most people, the treble clef is going to be right hand and the bass clef is going to be left hand. But the truth is, You just got to get the notes out, however it happens. So sometimes you'll have stuff in the right hand where it's like, it's too many notes. Like you'll have a note here and a note here and a note here and a note here and a note way up here. It's like, what? I can't reach all that. So in some cases, you have to like play this here and then play this up here and like use your left hand up in the treble clef on the right side of the piano and cross over your hand. So the real rule is get the notes out. Play the notes that are on the page. But in general, I think you'll find it easiest to play the treble clef notes with your right hand and the bass clef notes with your left hand. So that's kind of a general rule, but it doesn't always work out because sometimes you just have too many notes for one hand. So that is Mailbag, and now it's time for Secret Information. Of course, if you are a Music Lessons in a Box subscriber, you already have the Top Secret Information folder, and you already know that in this month's music profile, this song uses an ABA format. Now, if you've been here before and you know about song forms and formats, you'll notice this is not an ABA, so it seems like the secret information is a lie, but that's why it's a secret. If you go to the end where we do all the bonus stuff, there's actually another part of this song that goes, nobody can deny that nobody can deny, and then it comes back and does For He's a Jolly Good Fellow at the end. So if you go to the bonus section, the full song right here, this is the A section. This right here would be the B section, and then once again at the end, it has the For He's a Jolly Good Fellow section, which would be the A section again. So this song is actually an ABA, even though if you look at what we've been playing so far, here we go. If this looks like an A and then like an A prime and then like an A double prime and then a B. So it looks like A, B, but it's actually ABA if you look at the full song. All right, next in our top secret information folder, this song uses a 3/4 or 6/8 time signature. That means that when we get to level 2, eventually, you don't have to be there already, but you'll notice we have a 6 and an 8, and almost always we have a 4 down here, and we almost always have a 4 up here, but in this case we've got a 6 and an 8. That means we're going to count to 6 using eighth notes, which is something you already know if you're in Vocal Academy level, I think 3 or higher, you're doing 6, 8. And so this just means that instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, there's another way you could do this, which is instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, some people count 1 and 2 and 3 and. So you could count it in 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and, or count it in 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the difference doesn't show up until Vocal Academy level 4, I think is where we talk about why in the world we would have 3 and also 6, but this one can be counted in 3 or 6. Now, the last thing on here is that the fermata in this song adds anticipation. Now, I kind of alluded to the fermata earlier. Let me show you where it is in the actual song, right here. This thing that right here that looks kind of like a bird's eye. Like if you're gonna draw a bird, this might be how you drew the eye. Sometimes called a bird's eye, but the official name for it is fermata. Fermata. And this means that this note right here, even though it's a quarter note, and if you're in Vocal Academy level 1, you know that a quarter note gets 1 beat. This one, because it has a fermata, you're allowed to hold it for however long you want. And you already know this if you've sung the song before, because you know that when you get to the, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, which you can kind of hold it out for however long you want. Well, that is the official way in music to say, this note right here, hang on to it for as long as feels appropriate to provide that anticipation so everybody's like waiting for the next thing to come in. This is a great note to wait on. All right, well, the last piece of secret information is always who won the raffle. Let's find out if it's you. Congratulations, way to go. Let's go to level 2.
Transitioning to level 2. This may be confusing to level 1 students, so please continue to practice the level 1 version, or visit learnpianolive.com/level2 for a detailed explanation on how to level up.
All right, so here we are on level 2. This is the exact same notes as we had on level 1, but now it's on the official lines and spaces of the treble clef like we talked about before. So this could be all right hand if you wanted it to be, but you could use your left hand a little bit if you want, because there's actually nothing for your left hand to do in this one unless you follow the optional chords up at the top. Now, we're not going to go over what these chords are because these are kind of advanced, but if you go to learnpianolive.com/level2, I'll show you what those means. But for right now, we're just going to try to deal with the terror of looking at all of the notes and stuff on this page, and we've got rests and we've got dots and we've got fermatas and all kinds of crazy stuff, and see if we can just ignore all of that stuff and pay attention to the letter names that are inside of the notes. Notice how all of the notes are either on lines or spaces, and that we still have the ups and the downs and stuff like that. So just try to read through the notes right here. The goal of level 2 is to be able to play the notes at the end and have looked at a terrifying piece of music and come out with a song on the other end. So all the notes are exactly the same. We're not going to go through all of the notes again, but do note that I think if you're in Classical Academy level 2 or higher, you already know that any of the notes that have flags or bars are going to be slightly faster, and any of them that have dots are going to be slightly longer. So you can pay attention to that. The ones with the bars and the flags, those guys are going to be a lot faster. But here we go. Let's try it all together. Get all the notes that you can. Don't worry about the ones that you miss. On your mark, get set. And 1, 2, ready, go. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow that nobody can deny. Yeah, right now. Okay, hang on, Club. Before we do this the last time, I want to show everybody also this 6/8 thing. When I count it off at the beginning, I'm counting 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 like I usually do, but that's because I'm only actually counting every 3 beats, which is part of the secret of the difference between the 3 and the 6 when we're counting. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when I'm counting 1, 2, it's actually 1, 2. There's actually 3 beats in each of those. So that's why I'm counting in 4 for everybody to stay together, even though it's written in 6. Okay, one last time, Clavel, then we'll move on. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3, go. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow that nobody can deny. Yeah. All right, so that is all of level 2. Let's try adding in a little bit of left hand on level 3.
Transitioning to level 3. This may be confusing to level 1 and 2 students. Please continue to practice your own level, or visit learnpianolive.com/level3 to understand how this level works.
Okay, level 3, here we go. This is, oh, by the way, there's also level 2B in the key of D if you wanted to do that, because that's the suggested key, but we'll talk about that later. Level 3, right here, this is where we add in some left hand. All you gotta do is pay attention to the letter names inside of the notes. They're all written in for the left hand, which is the bass clef notes, like we talked about earlier, and then line them up with the appropriate right hand notes. So in this case, this C is lined up with the word he's in the right hand, and more explanation about that can be found at learnpianolive.com/level3. We've got an F right here that lines up with fell, and then a C that lines up with low, and that's how that's gonna work. So let's try doing that. Of course, if you need to pause the video and practice this thing, then that's cool. If you're live with us, just get all the notes that you can. Don't worry about the notes that you miss. On your mark, get set. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ready, set, here we go. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow that nobody can deny. Yeah. That's how that goes. That is the right hand and the left hand together, which I think means we're ready for some more difficult left hand. Let's try level 4 together.
Transitioning to level 4. This may be unsettling to lower levels. Please continue to practice your own level, or visit learnpianolive.com/level4 for an in-depth explanation on how to conquer this level.
Okay, just checking the chats here. All right, so level 4, this is genuinely more difficult than level 3. This is where we've taken the chords that are written up at the top, and don't forget you also have this on this next page what all the chords are. So if you want to know what a C chord is, that's listed right here, and it's also written out in sheet music right there. That's your C chord for you. But back to here, we're taking that chord in the left hand. If you're on like Clopple Academy level 1 or 2, this might be gibberish, so maybe ignore the rest of these words. But we're going to take this chord and break it up into 2 parts: the bass, the root of the chord, and then the rest of the chord. And that's largely what's happening, especially on the C chords here. So for he's a jolly good, and then fellow has 2 notes on each of those. Fellow. Yeah, and what's the correct fingering on that? Whatever works. Fellow would be fine, or fellow is probably what I'm going to play just so my hand stays in one position. And then for he's a jolly good fellow. He's a he's jolly fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow that nobody can deny. And that's my favorite part right there, that little walk up. So if you want to just steal one thing from level 4, if you want to do all level 3 stuff and steal one thing from level 4, just work on nobody can deny. Like that. That's going to sound really cool with nobody can deny. Nobody can. That's going to sound really great at the end. But of course, if you're on level 1 or 2 or 3, you just keep on practicing whatever it is that you need to practice. We'll try this all together, get all the notes that you can. Don't worry about the ones that you miss. On your mark, get set. 1, 2, ready, go. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. Yeah, right. Cool. Okay. This will be our last time, I guess, on level 4. I do want to show you, though, what this would sound like if you added in those chord tones from these guys right here in the right hand instead of just playing strictly the melody. So you can just watch me do that, or you can use this chance to practice. But everybody doing what you can, not worrying about the parts that you miss. On your mark, get set. Here we go. I'm going to take my right hand up an octave, too. 1, 2, ready, go. So, all the things that I did there are things that are indicated in this page either with the chords or because they're actually written in there. So that means we are ready for level 5 right now.
Transitioning to level 5. This may be terrifying to lower levels. Please continue to practice your own level or visit learnpianolive.com/level5 for training on how to survive this level.
Okay, so this is where we take what we had before, which were all the letters, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and then we turn that into numbers like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And then we're going to play the yellow part with the right hand: 5, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. By the way, for some people, they get to level 5 and they're like, this is so much better. Why didn't you start with level 5 on level 1? Because this makes so much more sense than the level 1 stuff. Other people get all the way through level 4 and then we go to level 5 and like, what? This is totally different and none of it makes any sense. I don't know why you even did this. This isn't even music. This is just numbers. So no matter how you feel about it, that's cool. That's fine. If this makes sense for you, maybe start on level 5 for the next song. And if it doesn't make sense to you, then maybe don't worry about it. Or send me a question in the survey afterwards and I'll be happy to go over this more for you. But it's kind of like a different way of playing. The reason that we would do this is that maybe this song sounds too low, or when you try try to sing it. The low notes are too low, and you prefer to sing it in a different key, like the key of D, where D, the letter D, is actually number 1, and the pattern looks like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Now you can play the same exact numbers in the suggested key of D: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And now you can play 5, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. And it still sounds like For He's a Jolly Good Fellow, but you're playing entirely different notes because you're playing the same numbers in a different key. And if that didn't make sense, you could go to learnpianolive.com/level5 or just ignore it all, and that's fine too. But whatever level you're working on, try all the notes that you can. Don't worry about the notes that you miss. On your mark, get set. 2. Oh, back to get the key of C. 1, 2, ready, go. 5, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4. 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4. 6, 6, 5, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. Okay. Cool. So, yeah, that is level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and anything faster than that or more difficult than that would be insane. So let's go to
Now
it.
transitioning to the insanity level. Please proceed with caution. If you feel queasy, please sit upright and breathe deeply. Your life is in your own hands at this point. Good luck, young prodigy.
Okay, this is called the insanity level for a reason, because it's insanely fast, and it's not level 1. That's insanity. There we go. All right, so then whatever level you're on, this is gonna be crazy, crazy fast. Try to get some of the notes, and the only rule for the insanity level is everyone ends on the same note. We're gonna try to end on a C right here, or a 1 if you're playing on level 5. So no matter what level you're working on, good luck. We're gonna try playing this as fast as this. Oh yikes! 1, 2, ready, go. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny. And on a C. All right. Good job. I think that pretty much covers it. That was the insanity version. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whatever you're working on, send me a video of it if you got questions, or if you just want to show off, maybe you'll be the featured video next week. And till next time, go, explore, mess up, have fun, rock on, friends. See you next time.
Hey, great, you're still here, so you must want more. Well, I've got 4 things for you: archives, practice tips, points, and jokes. First of all, if you didn't like this week's song, I'm sorry, and you can always go to learnpianolive.com/next song and vote for what our next song should be. And right now you can go to the Kids Lesson Archives and just pick a different song and work on that this week. Now you probably don't have the whole song down yet, so what you can do is, this helps a lot of people, just next time pretend that you're the in-studio student and that in level 3 and level 5 we're going to be checking in with you, and you've got to play at least some of the songs. I find that my students that come in and they're the in-studio students, they actually learn the songs way faster than they learn their regular songs I give them in their regular lessons. So if you just pretend that you're the in-studio student and that someone's going to be watching you, then that might help a lot. Also, you have the practice log that you can send in for extra points, and that can help you practice. And there's the daily challenge where you get extra points for logging your practice time there as well. Just click on daily challenge and it will play a video that doesn't have any sound really. You just practice, and then every now and then you'll hear a sound like this.
The number 7.
And then once you collect all of the letters and numbers, then you just put them in and you submit that, and you get points for doing that, and you get better because in between all those letters and numbers, you're practicing your song from the week. Of course, once you know the song, then definitely record yourself on your mom's cell phone or on your tablet or on whatever, and use the video submission button, and so you can send us your video that way and get points for that as well. You might even become the featured video for the week. All right, so let's move on to points. Here's the different ways you can get points. You can get up to 50 points just for participating in the chat in the live lesson. You get 300 points on top of that if you are the person in the chat room that week who makes the most helpful comments during the chat. That daily music challenge thing that I told you about, every day when you click on that and you submit the secret code, 150 points just for doing that. Every song comes with a practice log, and if you fill that out and have your parents sign it and you send that in, that's worth 300 points right there. Each week on Facebook and in the email that we send you, we give you a new weekly activity. It's just a fun little maze or puzzle or something to do. Doesn't really have much to do with music, but it does have something to do with that week's song, and it has something to do with getting you 150 points. Then if you click on survey at the end of the lesson and you fill that out and give us some feedback about the song, then we've given out up to 500 points before for great comments and feedback in the survey. Of course, submit your videos of you playing. Almost every video that gets submitted earns at least 200 points, even if it's not perfect. I guess work on it a little bit, but I'm just saying it doesn't have to be perfect. Here's another one. Every single month at learnpianolive.com/contest, we have a contest and usually give out at least 400 points, and oftentimes there are other gift cards and other prizes included in that contest. Okay, now we're getting into some big numbers. If you ever go to a concert that is classical music or it's classic jazz, which means like swing and bebop and stuff like that, you can ask your parents if it's a classic jazz concert. Then you get 500 points just by having your parents let us know what concert you attended. Now I keep asking you to send us your videos, and almost always you get points right up front for submitting those videos. Don't forget to put the legal disclaimer on your video. You have to say at the beginning, this is for use at kidslearnpianolive.com. But here's an additional way to pick up 750 points. If later on, a month down the road, a year down the road, 5 years down the road, if one of the videos that you submit to us ever gets 1,000 views, send us the link to your video. We will give you 750 points. Okay, but is there anything that I could do that's worth thousands of points? Yes, there is. If you're in Clopple Academy, every time you go from level 1 to level 2, or level 2 to level 3, every single time you level up, you get 3,000 points. And that's not even the biggest one. You get 5,000 points every single time someone signs up for kidslearnpianolive.com and they say that you are the one who sent it here. Okay, last thing before I say goodbye. For real, I told you that I would tell you my favorite joke, and here it is. A butcher backs up into his meat grinder and gets a little behind in his work. Gets a little behind in his work because he's a butcher. It's funny, trust me, it's awesome. If you didn't think it was funny, that's fine. But go to learnpianolive.com/jokes and you can see some of our students' favorite jokes and you can submit your own. I think that's finally it. I will see you in another live lesson. Love ya. Good luck. Have fun.